Hello, 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 YouTube. What's up? I'm just getting my stuff all settled in here and going to start Raw shortly as soon as it starts. I figured I would get in here a little bit early, that way, give people time to come in and all that good stuff. Let me go over to. Oh, God, Thomas. Never fails. He's always got to sit on my keyboard. Never ever fails. So, how is everybody? Did y'all watch SummerSlam? I mean, close on this. Oh, hello, Rosie. How are you? Oh, come on. Thomas, you really need to get off my keyboard. I'm just here trying to get my stuff straight, Rosie. Cat laying on my keyboard, making it difficult. I gotta see if I can fix my thing. I'm not running away, Rosie. I'll be right back. Hello, Go Fish Office. How are you? I'm not running away. I'm just trying to get my other monitor to come on. So, how is everybody tonight? I am good. Just trying to get my stuff situated here. All right, now I got that on. And Thomas is making his guest appearance as he does each week. He's going to lay on my keyboard again. Let's see if we can prevent him from doing anything he should. You know what it's like to have a cat that wants to co-star in your streams. It's not easy, people. It's not easy in the least. He's like opening up new pages and I am going to stream for till 11 p.m. Eastern. I usually stream the whole Monday Night Raw. So I will be on when you is ready to come back, I think. Yeah, I can't say that he will, Rosie. He's been there and done that. That was his last match, I believe. But I wish he would not retire. He's my favorite. Did everybody watch SummerSlam last night? What'd you think of it? I was most happy when Roman Reigns returned at the end. All right, Go Fish. Thank you so much. I'll look forward to your return. Come on, I already signed in. The damn cat. You did. Me too, Donna. Dreams. I watched everything except for the main event. The main event I went back and watched tonight when I got home from work. Because I worked a 12-hour shift yesterday, so I was exhausted by the time I got home from work. So I stayed up as long as I could, and then I was like, all right, I'm going to bed. I'll watch the rest of it tomorrow or whatever. Thanks, Goldfish. I appreciate the support. So, Dreams, what'd you think about Roman Reigns coming back? Dreams? All right, let's see where we're at. So, Raw has begun. Marcus Gamer 592. Hello, welcome. How are you? Uh-oh. So we are going to have a women's lumberjack match between Asuka and Sasha Banks. Oh, geez. An arm wrestling competition match officiated by Mark Henry. Oh, Me Too Dreams. When he returned, I was like, oh. And here's the tag team match that I thought they were going to have at SummerSlam, which was Dominic and Rey Mysterio versus Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. But apparently they're going to have that tonight. I thought that would make a very good match for last night. I didn't agree with Dominic facing Seth Rollins, but, you know, and we have a new Raw champion, women's champion, that is Asuka. She got the belts back. They are going to have a rematch tonight. I found the kink to get on Thunderdome. Nice. Cool Dreams. All right. So now we have Drew McIntyre coming out. If you watch SummerSlam, you know that he retained his title last night. They had a really good match, him and Randy Orton. They took each other to the limit. They beat the crap out of each other. And Drew McIntyre ended up getting the last minute pin on Randy Orton. Kind of surprised him. And that was where the "You'll Never See It Coming" theme came out, was when Drew McIntyre pinned Randy Orton, apparently. Because that's all they kept saying, was Randy never saw it coming. Thomas. So Thomas has decided he just wants to mess with Mama's keyboard today. And that's what he's doing. It's my own fault. During dinner, I asked him if he was going to co-star with me again, because since I've been doing this Monday night thing, he's been up here with me and co-starring. So they are just doing some recaps from last night, the Randy Orton Drew McIntyre match, which, like I said, was a really good match. They did beat the crap out of each other. They used tables. They used chairs. And then it was a basic roll-up that ended up winning the match. Very nice. Sheamus is watching Raw with Dreams. Very, very nice. All right. So I believe also last night we saw the beginning of the split between Bayley and Sasha Banks. Sasha Banks looked pissed. If you were able to hear her when Asuka had her in that last Asuka lock, she was screaming for Bayley, trying to get Bayley to help her, and Bayley was nowhere to be found. And it was Sasha that saved Bayley's title during her match. So, yeah, I think we're going to see the breakdown of that. Drew McIntyre welcomes us to the first Raw of the WWE Raw Thunderdome. It looks I guess it's better than the audience that they did have, the few people they had in the arena. I wish they could match the audio with what's happening in the ring. Last night I kept thinking that someone was coming out because they would be cheering for no reason. But no, no one ever came out. Drew is addressing Randy. He says he's hungrier and works harder than Randy. He says how proud he is to be WWE champion. He's also like this because of his journey and the hard times he knows what it's like to go through. He is referring to the fact that a couple of weeks ago he told Randy had no idea what that was like because Randy was handed his WWE career. And he says, despite how he feels about Randy Orton, Randy Orton's the best. And he said, but Drew McIntyre was that much better. Now he's directly addressing Randy, talking to the camera. Talks about the greatest wrestling match that he had with Edge. And he says he just didn't beat Randy. He beat Randy with the wrestling maneuver, which is true. He rolled him up. He didn't beat him with the Claymore. Yes, Dreams, it is. You know Randy Orton's not going to let it fall. Oh, no, Dreams. I don't see Drew McIntyre getting punted. I see Randy getting Claymored and brought to Claymore country. Although Randy Orton is good enough, I'm sure he would take out, like he tried last night, take out Drew's knee to take away the Claymore. And here comes Randy on the count of 2, 1. Oh, I didn't even get to 2. Didn't even get to 2. Am I a little behind? No, I don't think so. All right. Sorry, I just realized that I was a little bit behind on my, because I recorded. I told you guys I recorded. Oh. Oh, dreams, I stand corrected, my love. Yes, it's becoming his signature move, Drew. Dreams. Um, he used it a lot years ago and then kind of moved away from it. And it seems like but he only uses it on people he wants to take out for a little bit. In a regular match, he'll usually use the RKO. So, what did people think of SummerSlam? I know Drew watched it. Anybody else watch it? What was your favorite match? I thought the Asuka Sasha Banks match was better than the Asuka Bayley match. I thought it was much more action packed, much more back and forth. And of course, I liked the Drew McIntyre Randy Orton match. I thought that was a really good match. But next Sunday, we have. Yeah, Dreams. Definitely. That was the one she had. So that's what she wanted back. I don't see her losing it tonight in the lumberjack match. It seems like Sasha has a hard time retaining the titles. She can win them. She cannot retain them in a match, though. That's her one problem. Every time she has the title and she has the title defense, she normally ends up losing the title to her opponent. Where the hell is Joseph Grohl, speaking of Sasha Banks? I'm surprised I haven't seen him start yelling at me yet for downing Sasha. But yeah, I see them coming apart. I see it going to shit on Sunday at, I believe it's Over the Edge, where they defend their tag team titles. I see that going to shit. They have not said who they are going to face tonight. I'm assuming they're going to do some type of fatal four way or tag team or something like that. Because there's really no female tag teams, so there's no number one contender. I mean, unless you count the Iconics, where they've beaten Sasha and Bailey before. All right, so they're just replaying what happened with Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton when Randy attacked Drew from behind and ended up punching him twice in the backstage area. All right, so just more replays. Drew slowly working his way up now. Yes, dreams. I see that. I think he will. The announcers are talking about how it's unbelievable. Drew got up after 2 punts to the head when Randy has taken people out with 1. Oh, I knew it. I knew as soon as Keith Lee lost his belt on Saturday that he would be making his debut. And that is tonight, people. Keith Lee will be making his debut. We will be basking in his glory. What do you think about that? I actually like Keith Lee. I think he's very good for me at his size. He moves in the ring. Joseph Grohl, where the hell have you been? Were your ears burning? I was just talking shit about Sasha Banks and there was no one there to defend her. Joseph Grohl. And here comes Miss Cotton Candy here. Joseph, enough with the boss time. Joseph. I see these two going at it, Shayna and Naya. Again, hopefully they do a better job next time that they did last time. Last time it was just the stupidest thing. Oh, Joseph, here she comes. Oh, Joseph, there she is. Your girl. Joe, she's missing something. What is she missing, Joseph? What's the matter, Joseph? What's missing? Hello, Donna. Thank you. Told ya. They're coming apart. They didn't even acknowledge each other. They didn't touch each other. They didn't do the usual crap when they came in, not even looking at each other. These two girls are going apart. They're going to become frenemies. That's just it, Joe. That's it. Your girl's going to lose her best friend. She's going to go after her best friend for her title. Very good, Joseph. I'm glad that you were able to move away from pumpkin iced coffee for a week. Oh, Donna, he took his own woo card away. He doesn't say woo anymore. He makes us suffer through its boss time now. No more woo. He did Charlotte faster than a hot potato as soon as she wasn't on TV no more. And he adopted Sasha Banks and her boss time gimmick. Yeah. At least we know how Joseph rolls now. And Bayley's going to get her ass kicked because she's facing Shayna Baszler, and Sasha's not going to help her. There's no way Sasha's going to help her. Sasha's going to tell her she's on her own. It's not the boss facing her, Joe. It's Bayley. Yes, dreams it is. She doesn't look right with that hair. Uh-oh, and here comes Nia Jax. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Something's gonna happen. Does Nia Jax get involved? You think? Is she going to help Bayley to try to screw Shayna? Joe, did you watch SummerSlam last night? Oh, no, you worked, right? Did you get to watch it today on the network? Did you have time between work and this? You'll have to excuse me. I'm very stuffy. My allergies are killing me. Kelly's Railfan Adventures. I think Randy Orton should be suspended and slammed with a huge fine. Maybe. But we know Randy is Randy, and as Drew liked to say last week, Randy has been protected his whole career by the right people. Dorito, what's up? Trying to lose more weight. Had no soda, coffee, and ice cream. Very good, Joseph. But don't be eating Big Macs and Cokes just because you haven't drank iced coffee or eaten ice cream. Oh, no soda too. But still, that doesn't mean you can have 3 Big Macs, Joe. After what he did to the WWE champion. Yes. All right. Dorito, smashing that like button before I hit some dinner. Thank you, Dorito. I appreciate it. Yeah, Kelly, it's kind of. Yeah, she is. I read about it on Google. Oh, Joe. Hello, Tiffany. Thank you for joining us. All right, so here's the match between Bayley and Shayna Baszler. Well, at least Nia has not made her way down to the ring. Hello, Dave Larson. How are you? Oh, I do too, Dreams. All right. So, as we suspected, Shayna Baszler seems to be in early control. Yes, Tiffany, thank you for joining us. Oh, oh. Yeah, Shayna is a baddie. It almost seems like Sasha's enjoying it. And you think it sucked? I thought there was some good matches. All right, so Bayley is kind of trying to get control of Shayna, but it almost seems like Shayna's almost playing with her and letting her do some stuff. Nice. Very nice, Tiffany. Well, hopefully we do it justice. And Shayna is giving Bayley some big elbows. Bayley's hurting right now. Big knee to the kick in the corner. And Bayley's down on all fours. Yeah, the table. Now Bayley finds herself in a submission hold. Up. Sasha kind of distracted Baszler. I'm surprised. I did not think she was going to be getting involved at all because of last night. Dave ate too much food. He's in food coma. Ian's made Joseph's list. All kinds of shenanigans going on here tonight. Nice suplex from Bayley onto Baszler. But Shayna Baszler kicks out at 2. And Bayley is just kind of trash talking and then hits Baszler in the mouth, which to me it looks like it's just pissing Shayna off. If it was me, I would not be punching her in the mouth, but Bayley seems to be doing a decent job of trying to stay on top, but Shayna's still fighting out of things, still putting up a fight. Bayley definitely can't take Shayna's hits. If Shayna is able to keep up some offense, Bayley is in trouble. Bayley just threw Shayna out the ring through the ropes. You are correct, Tiffany. That she does. She is a badass, but Nia Jax almost seems like she's wanting to get involved. And there we go. Nia Jax got involved. She pulls Shayna Baszler off the ring, and now she's punching Shayna Baszler. So that match is ending. Nia had Shayna by the hair, and Shayna Baszler just pretty much flipped her over. Nia threw Shayna back first, kidney first, into the ring apron, and now she's throwing Shayna back into the ring. But the silly thing is, she's letting Shayna get back up before she gets in the ring, but she's able to run over, hit her in the back of the head, and knock her back down. Shayna was watching Bayley and Sasha. They're like cheering Nia on, and Nia's looking at them like, really? What are we, friends? And this is allowing Nia to get up, Shayna to get up, and now both Shayna Baszler and Nia Jax are looking at Bayley and Sasha, and now they're both getting out of the ring, cooperating now, going after Shayna, Sasha, and Bayley. So I see a tag team title match here. I see possible tag team championship match for Over the Edge. Aleister Black is supposed to be on the Kevin Owens show tonight. We will have to see. Kevin Owens is now looking for Aleister Black in the back. You don't knock on Aleister Black's door, Kevin. Kevin just knocked on Aleister Black's door. Who knocks on Aleister Black's door? No one knocks on Aleister Black's door. Ooh. Kevin Owens was talking to Aleister Black. You couldn't see Aleister Black. And he kind of left the door open, and Aleister Black slammed the door shut. And yes, we are back on commercials. This Chris Lee Knows Best show. What the hell do people see in it? Can someone tell me? Why is it still on? Right, Tiffany? Maybe Zelina is in there with Aleister. It was a very dark room. And now we get to see a KFC commercial. They make French fries now, apparently. Oh, geez. What happened to the potato wedges? They don't have potato wedges anymore, you know. I always get, when Jimmy goes away, I get a bucket of chicken, mac and cheese as a side, potato wedges, and coleslaw. That's my meal for the whole entire weekend. Last time I did it, they said, oh, we don't make potato wedges anymore. The hell do you mean you don't make potato wedges anymore? They said, oh, we make French fries. If I want French fries, I go to freaking McDonald's and get French fries. I don't want goddamn French fries from KFC. I loved the wedges too. That was my favorite side. Not no more, Dave. They turn them into goddamn French fries. Goddamn people. Tiffany, because you don't like him. Is he from Georgia? I know he's from somewhere down there. Well, thank you, Dreams. I'm glad you liked it. It brought me back. Doing that hair brought me back. It did. It brought back a lot of memories. I'm sorry, Tiffany, that you're from the same area that Grizzly's from. I don't know if I would be proud to announce that. Yeah, unfortunately, Dreams, I had to control myself. I had to work on Saturday. I did have a drink, though. I had a lot of fun. Joseph, as soon as he opens the door, you're going to be out cold on the floor. You're not going to have time to give the man a DDT. Have you seen that man move? He would make your head spin, Joseph. Just a FYI, brother. Don't knock on Aleister Black's door. Look what happened to Buddy Murphy. He's with Seth Rollins now because he lost his goddamn mind. She was a lady, Joseph. We were reliving the 1980s. You weren't born in the 1980s, Joseph, so that's why you were not there. Right? Tiffany knows, Joe. He'd knock your ass out in a heartbeat. And you don't even have to use the black mass. You just got to do that whirlwind fucking punch thing and you're done. I do other things. Yeah, Joe, she does other things. So now we have Kevin Owens in the ring. Anthony, how are you? I like Burger King fries too, Joe. Wendy's makes the best, though. Joseph, are you purposely double typing everything? Because almost everything that you've said tonight has come out twice. Are you purposely doing that? Or is that a tick? Joe's got a tick. Wendy's is close to Wedge's, Jeff. You are correct. All right, so here comes Aleister Black. Hopefully he took Kevin Owens knocking on his door as an invitation to the Kevin Owens show and not as an invitation for a fight. We will find out. Ooh. The checkers, I'm assuming, we call them waffle fries. And here he comes. Aleister's got a headband type of thing over his eye that Buddy Murphy took out. He looks very nice in his suit, though. All black, of course. He's looking at the stairs because, as you know, that's what Buddy Murphy used. He put his eye into the stairs. All right, let's see. Is he there to fight or is he there to talk? Kevin's a smart. He's inviting him to sit. Aleister doesn't look very happy. And Kevin's bringing up the eye thing. I don't know how smart that is. He keeps saying the word eye. Aleister's telling Kevin to just show the footage. Kevin looks a little uncomfortable. And Aleister says he's seen it a million times. Just play the footage. And they are playing the footage of Buddy Murphy putting Aleister's Black's eye into the corner of the stairs, supposedly. So we'll see what happens after this. Does he have PTSD? He doesn't look very happy. He's breathing very heavy. If I was Kevin, I might stand up at this point. And now Kevin is trying to say how he knows how how Aleister feels. And he's saying how he knows how Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy can get into your skin. They did it to him. And he says Seth loves to get in people's heads. Oh. I told you, you don't knock on on Aleister Black's door and then talk about how you know how he's feeling. He just punched Kevin Owens after feigning an injury, and then Black Mass. And Kevin Owens is out. And now Aleister Black is leaving the ring. Joe, I told you, you don't knock on Aleister Black's door. Even if you're inviting him to be a guest on your talk show. You do not knock on his door. Okay, Joe. Possibly, Josh. Welcome. I believe it could have been. Maybe he is going to become part of Seth Rollins' little band of merry men. I wouldn't have thought so, but I guess we will find out during the tag team match tonight between Ray, Dominic, and Seth and Buddy. I'm sure Aleister will make his presence felt, whether it's to help Ray and Dominic or if it's to hurt Ray and Dominic. We will certainly, I think, find out what side Aleister Black is on. I do see it as a possibility of him turning. It was something we talked about a little while back, of him turning and joining forces with Seth. So I'm thinking you could be right that it could be Aleister turning heel. Welcome, Josh, by the way. I appreciate you joining us to watch Raw. Did you watch SummerSlam, Josh? What did you think of it? We've had some people say that it sucked. Other people said it was good. Not everybody got to watch the whole thing. I thought it was decent. I thought there were some good matches, some matches we could have done without. But yes, I think that we are going to find out. And I do still believe that we are seeing the divided path between Sasha and Bayley. And I think it could very well be. Do you think Nia and Shayna will get along long enough to team to face Sasha and Bayley? How much of a badass team would that make? Granted, Naya is a little crazy in the ring. She doesn't always know what she's doing, but maybe she needs someone to kind of curtail her, the way she works in the ring. Maybe she needs a partner. That would be a badass team, Tiffany. I think that would be a badass team. Yes, Sasha tapped out. She did, after screaming for Bayley relentlessly, and Bayley was nowhere to be found to help her out of that predicament like Sasha was for Bayley. So that's what I think is going to be their parting ways. They had a little interview in the back with Sasha and Bayley, and Sasha made it a point to say that she shouldn't even be in a predicament where she has to have a rematch with Asuka. Asuka was. Did you see her take her off the ring apron and powerbomb her on the floor on the outside of the ring? Oh, I thought that was R-Truth, Joe. I thought you called it again. But yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if Asuka does have a concussion. Oh, Joe, it's R-Truth. Look, Joe. Oh, Joe, they heard you. So apparently this is a 24/7 title match. Looks like it may be a fatal four-way with R-Truth, Akira Tozawa, Alexander, and Shelton Benjamin. Hey, Ian, welcome back. Joe's in his living room right now. His girlfriend's probably telling him to sit the frig down. She about to duct tape him to the chair. I mean, so yes, it is a fatal four-way match for the 24/7 championship. And Shelton Benjamin went right after Akira Tozawa. And R-Truth stupidly goes for the pin with everybody else in the match standing right around him. Alexander tried to pin Shelton Benjamin. Shelton Benjamin kicked out. Alexander gave him a nice kick. And very nice. So it seems like we have. Oh, Alexander just went to the outside off a knee from Shelton Benjamin. Now R-Truth and Shelton Benjamin are going at it. Akira Tozawa is still down in the corner. And Shelton Benjamin is going for nothing. Akira Tozawa tried to interfere, and now he's got Akira Tozawa up and went to go throw him out the ring. His little ninjas caught him, and now he's talking like he's a badass, saying ninja power. Oh, Shelton Benjamin went on the outside of the ring. The three ninjas restrained Shelton Benjamin while Akira Tozawa pinned R-Truth. So now Akira Tozawa is the 24/7 champion again, and he's allowing his ninjas to get their ass beat, and he's running for the hills with his belt. So Shelton Benjamin no longer the 24/7 champion. And here we have Randy Orton. Let's see what's going to happen with Randy Orton. So apparently Randy Orton is going to make his way out to the ring to address the whole Drew McIntyre situation. So how do you guys feel if Aleister Black is going heel? What do you think about that? I think he would make a very good heel. He was a heel for a little bit with NXT. Also, we have to look forward to tonight Keith Lee's WWE Monday Night Raw debut. If you watched over the weekend, he lost his NXT championship. And he lost that to Chris Cross. Doris, I might not make it Wednesday. Got to work 4 to 10. All right, Joe. Thank you for letting me know. I appreciate it. For any of my new people watching, I also do a live stream on Wednesdays. That one is just kind of just talking about wrestling. I have NXT on in the background, but I don't do commentary for it. We kind of just talk about it. And if something big happens, I mention it. Other than that, it's just pretty much us talking about wrestling in general, both old and new. It's usually fun to get everybody's feedback on what they watch. I have a lot of people that watched old school wrestling and just do not watch it now. So they find it kind of interesting when we talk about wrestling now going on. And Thomas is back to say hello. I'm going to move my keyboard this time so we don't shut my audio off or anything. Hi, bubbies. So, yes, I usually start the Wednesday night stream around the same time, around 8 o'clock. I usually don't go early with that one. I might be a few minutes late once in a while. Tiffany says, hello, Thomas. Say hi, Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. Thomas likes to co-style with me every once in a while, Tiffany. That's all right, Donna. Really, even though I moved it, you're still going to find a way to sit on it? That's funny. I've never heard it called that. I've heard them called tuxedo cats before. I've never heard them referred to as penguin cats. Of course you don't, Joseph. That's why you would knock on his door, because you're silly. Really, Bubs? Listen. All right. Hey. All right. Sorry, guys. Thomas just completely rewound my live stream. Hello. Can you come over here? Come over here. Oh, dear God. I'm trying to get back to where I was. Hello, beautiful Lisa. Thomas is causing shenanigans. He is rewinding my wrestling. All right, good. It doesn't look like I missed much. Oh, I see. Okay. I thought you were calling them a penguin cat. Which they could be that too, because they do kind of look like a penguin, huh, Thomas? Lisa, how are you? No, not on the keyboard. Not on the keyboard. No. Mama gonna move her keyboard. I'm gonna move my keyboard over here. We don't need it. Hello, Jamie Caverti Forever. How are you? I am enjoying it. So we have Randy Orton coming out. Aww. I am doing good, Lisa. All right, Jamie, we can do that. Welcome. I appreciate you joining us. And we are enjoying Raw. Are you liking it so far? Are you even watching it? Like Tiffany has no cable, so she's living through us vicariously as we talk about what's happening. What do you think of the Thunderdome audience? Very good. Hello, Salem. Welcome. Welcome. You're always going to mess with something. Now you're going to mess with Mama's microphone? And Dreams, I'd be interested to check out that link. Dreams found a link to be part of the virtual audience on Thunderdome, which I thought was really cool. Joseph Girl. No, you wouldn't. You could try. Keith Lee, he's supposed to make his debut tonight. I'm assuming you meant Keith Lee and not AJ Lee. If you meant AJ Lee, no, she has not returned to Raw yet. Really? Really? Now you're going to be a troublemaker? Even more? That's not nice. No, it wasn't. Jonas, it would be funny if someone hacks in those TVs as crowds and puts porno on it. Joseph, nobody needs any ideas. Uh-oh. Well, thank you for stopping in, Gary. I hope you feel better. He's a man of his word. He says that he told us he was going to kill the legends of Edge, Christian, and Ric Flair, and he didn't. Oh, Gary, I was just saying a little bit ago, my allergies are killing me. Yes, Jamie, I enjoyed it. And Randy is talking about what he did to Drew McIntyre earlier. He says when Drew came out here, he presented Randy with an opportunity and Randy took it. I know, Salem, I was so excited when Roman Reigns returned. Right? That was ridiculous, Tiffany. All right, Gary, get some rest. I hope you feel better. Drink lots of water, Gary. That might help. Oh! Keith Lee is coming out to interrupt Randy Orton. Right? Lisa, you're the first one I thought of. I'm like, I have to tell Lisa he's back. That's okay, Dreams. Oh, Joseph, you mean to be on the virtual fans? Salem, I wouldn't doubt it. He did come out and attack both Fiend and Braun Strowman and said they're both nothing without him. And now we have Keith Lee, and Randy Orton is basking in his glory. Keith Lee is introducing himself to Randy. He says he's here to offer Randy a spectacular opportunity to take a moment and bask in his glory. And he's going over Randy's nicknames. Yes, Salem, he will. I believe he is challenging Randy Orton to a match. And he did. If Randy Orton is willing to step up right here, right now, are we going to have a match, people? Are we going to have, is Randy going to do it? Do you see Randy doing it? I don't think Randy's going to do it. He's going to get out of the ring, take his jacket off, and of course he says maybe later, and gets out of the ring and leaves Keith in the ring by himself. And Keith is pointing to his head like, smart man, smart man. But he issued the challenge. We will have to see what Randy says. And Randy is watching Keith in the back. Is this going to be a good time for the Claymore? Nope, no Claymore. And there's Zelina and Angel Gaza. Charlie is bringing up Zelina poisoning Ford again. Zelina keeps saying she had nothing to do with it, even though they had footage of her standing there. Zelina does not look very happy with Angel Gaza. And Angel just invited both the blonde chick and Charlie to watch his match. Charlie don't look too interested. The blonde girl looks like she's going. Zelina Vega is apparently going to wrestle. I'm assuming she is going to be taking on Belair, who, if you haven't gotten it yet, is married to Montez Ford from Street Profits. Freaking Geico commercials. They got John Stamos knitting. So, Salem, did you watch SmackDown? Did I already ask you that? Tiffany, who would you choose? Keith Lee or Randy Orton as a winner? I would like to say Keith Lee. Captain! What's up? Excuse me. Captain, tonight is my commentary night. I try not to do a panel on this one. I'm sorry. But I will send you a link on Wednesday. I appreciate the love, though. And Tiffany, if the Me Too was for a link, I would be more than happy to send you a link once you hang out for a little bit. You're brand new, so I'm not really comfortable giving you a link once you're brand new. But if you hang out for a while, I will be happy to give you one. Hello, Anthony. How are you? Aw, thanks, Salem. I actually enjoy doing it, so. Oh, okay. I was going to say, I thought it was Philly, but. Yes. I think Lee could beat Randy. And it being his first night, that might be the only thing keeping him from beating him, but he did go head-to-head with Brock Lesnar at the Royal Rumble. So that could be a little push for him. All right, and we are back. So we are going to have a match with Keith Lee and Randy Orton later tonight. That will probably be our main event. Doris, apparently Vince McMahon teased during SummerSlam with Roman Reigns' shirt that he is the leader of Retribution. Did you like the idea of that or not really? I don't know. But again, they also, from rumors I heard, Friday night was supposed to be rumors of The Fiend having something to do with Retribution because they came out when him and Braun Strowman were in the ring. Yes. And tonight they are having an arm wrestling match with the hell's his name? Mark Henry officiating it. Excuse me. You're killing me, Thomas. You're killing me. I love my kitty, but once my allergies are aggravated, I'm allergic to him. So once they're already aggravated, it just intensifies it so much. So yes, at Payback this Sunday, it's going to be Bobby Lashley against Cruz for the championship. I think The Fiend would be a better fit because he has the dark entrance and the spookiness to go about him. Yeah, I don't know if I believe that the shirt Roman had on last night is a hint of him being the leader. Because they didn't target anyone he's had an issue with. They didn't target Bray Wyatt until Friday. You would think Braun Strowman being the one to replace Roman Reigns to go against Goldberg, he would be the first one that would be targeted, and that didn't happen. So, right, Tiffany, that's what I'm saying. Like, they really didn't, like, you would think that, if anything, I think that if anything, it would be something to go against Seth Rollins, because Seth Rollins is being a douche and not part of what the whole Shield persona was supposed to be. So I'm not really sure. I mean, and Roman's always been kind of a loner since she left the Shield. I don't see him leading a group. I mean, that's my only thing is I would think that they would have targeted more because they didn't really target any superstars. They targeted the audience, they targeted referees, and they did a lot of damage. Roman Reigns didn't really have an issue when he left the WWE. He left the WWE for personal reasons, and they sided with him. I can see Roman more as a tweener. I think if he was going to be heel, he would have been a heel when the audience was against him a few years ago when they were booing him. Right, Dreams. I think, especially with his cancer history, where he's doing a lot for the cancer research that WWE is helping out with, and he's a good spokesperson for WWE. I think I can see him as another John Cena, where John Cena was a big person for Make a Dream. or make a wish. I think Roman Reigns would be a good person for the cancer side of it. Oh, God. So now Ivar's coming down to the ring. And Garza is in the ring with Montez Ford having a match. And Igar is going over to the girl that Angel Garza is with. And he has a turkey drumstick, which apparently she really likes because she had a couple weeks ago. Yeah, Anthony, my only thing is a lot of the work that like John Cena did and a lot of the work that Roman Reigns seems to be doing is with children. So I think in my past experience, the people that are more with children, they try to keep face. So that way the kids it's a good support for the kids. All right, so Donna, love you, Doris, but I gotta be getting ready. This storm's coming in. No problem, Donna. Stay safe. Buckle down. Montez Ford just got the pin on Garza. But yeah, I mean, I could see Roman as a heel. There's another reason I might start watching WWE is it's affecting me cheering for a guy like Roman if they want to turn him heel because Vince is too scared he's gonna lose his demographic of kids. Right, and that's one problem that I have with WWE. They're very PG and very kid friendly, which is fine. But I think, like with the whole John Cena thing, John Cena never once turned heel. He tried early on in his career, and it didn't last long because he was a kid. He was like the face for the kids. All the kids loved him. He's the biggest Make-A-Wish person that I believe he's got one of the most in the world for the wishes. So, and I think it does in a way affect how their storylines go. Oh, dreams. Naya's in the back talking to Shayna Baszler, saying the same thing we were saying, how they can make a really good team. And Shayna says if she helps Nia win the tag team titles, Nia gets off her back and leaves her alone. Little poking, prodding, and slapping going on there. And now we have the Riot Squad coming out. And it's funny, the Fiend character is actually popular with kids because I have friends who watch wrestling and have younger kids, but they buy the toy a lot. All right. But yeah, Anthony, I mean, I know they do have some heels as like kid favorites. But at the same time, I think it's more so I don't know if it's more I like Roman as a face or if I think since his whole cancer thing, he's been more of a faceable character and the face of the WWE. They've never had a heel in my memory that was the face of WWE. It's always been a face. And if they are still going on that track before he left, that seemed to be where they were going with it, was he was going to replace John Cena as the face of the WWE. That could have changed with him gone. They had to continue its storylines. Yeah, I think I get what you're saying about Triple H, but Triple H also did a comedy stint with DX. Nothing DX did was serious. Like, yeah, they were during the Evolution, yes, they did do some serious stuff, but if you remember, he wasn't really yeah, I think all the progressive commercials are weird dreams. So it's kind of hard to say where they would go with it. I'm not completely against them having a heel as a face. I just don't remember them doing it regularly, like with the Triple H era. For the part that he was a big part of the face of the company, he was with DX, which was more comedic and stick it to the boss type of thing than they were, even like they weren't out trying to hurt people like Randy Orton is right now. So that's just kind of like what I think. I think they wouldn't, where their biggest demographic is, I think they say 16 to 30. So in that case, it could be a heel because it's not little kids. Was a hell. And he became the face. Right. But again, Lisa, he was going against the boss. So it was like kind of stick it to authority type of thing. So like he was more going against the rebellion of it like teenagers do. If you get what I'm saying. Like, I'm not saying like they were completely healed. They just weren't heal like getting involved or hurting people or do you think WWE should have waited after Killer Kross got the NXT championship, then debuted Raw Underground as a way to debut him on the main roster? Yes, I'm surprised. I did not expect Keith Lee to make his debut so early after losing the championship. I did expect them to have a little bit of a feud. Yeah, Dreams, they do. And a lot of it doesn't make sense to us. But and I know a lot of it has to do with Vince McMahon's whim, how he's feeling and how he feels about that person. Like I'm surprised that Roman Reigns was able to push himself right back into the championship picture. I kind of expected him to debut at SummerSlam, but in a different way, not by going after the two guys going for the title. If you get what I'm saying. Like, I fully expected, with the way Vince works, for him to have to work his way back into good graces. In my honest opinion, I find that Vince is too out of touch with the current generation of fans, specifically my age generation. Yes, Anthony, I 100% agree. I think he does completely gear everything towards the PG era and the kid-friendly era. And a lot of my other subscribers also agree that they've kind of made it too kid-friendly. It's not, a lot of it is not like, it's not real, so you wouldn't expect it to be believable, but at the same time, you would expect them to try to protect it a little more than what you see. Like, there's absolutely no kayfabe anymore. Yes, I know kayfabe's been dead for 20 years, but at the same time, like, you don't have to make it ridiculous. Do you think it would help prevent Two Step Down in general and have Triple H and Stephanie and Shane take over the permanent? That's what I'm hoping, Anthony. I'm hoping that Vince steps down and the kids take control of the product. Right, Captain. I truly hope, because I think a lot of the really good storylines don't, from what I've heard and what I have intel on, are not related to Vince. Yes, he oversees them, but he's not the creator of it. And then whenever it takes the weirdest turn and becomes stupid, that's when Vince McMahon has become involved in the storyline. Right, James. I think he means on cable network, not just on the WWE network. Oh, Bianca Belair in the ring with Zelina Vega. Zelina gonna get her butt kicked. And she takes out the Iconics at the same time. I know, Dreams. Yes, I believe so, Lisa. I believe his health isn't doing that great. And I believe they are trying to get him to step down from at least the hands-on aspect of it. Like, they want him to just be the CEO of the company and just stay home and let them do stuff. Which I would get. I almost wonder if he's starting to lose his marbles. Oh, yeah, Anthony. They should have, in my opinion, they should have kept Paul Heyman and got rid of Bruce Pritchard. Paul Heyman will at least, like, he's the one that started the whole Mandy Rose Otis storyline. And they ended up getting rid of him in that aspect of it because he had too many disagreements with people. He basically wasn't taking anyone's shit and doing what he wanted with his storylines. Right, and that's how I feel, Andy. I almost feel like, is he losing his marbles? Does he still think it's, you know what I mean? Like, does he think that only kids watch? Does he forget about how popular it was during the Attitude Era? Oh, yeah, Dreams. It'll be Stephanie and Shane that will take over I think Stephanie will have possibly a higher position than Shane just because she's never left the company where Shane did. I think she's put more of her life into it than Shane has. But I think they both have, I think they would be good cohorts. They both have good ideas, and then you'll have Triple H in the middle, kind of like, so like he could come up with the main things, and then the McMahons can kind of put their little twist on it. And CM Punk, no, because CM Punk's problem was with Triple H, not Vince McMahon. Jon Moxley, Chris Jericho, possibly. But I believe CM Punk's main problem was with Triple H. It was not with Vince McMahon. But yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people would come back. There's some people that Vince won't allow them to bring back because he feels like they turned on the company, and sometimes you have to let grudges be grudges. Like, you have to let them go, especially if it's for the better of your product. It's like biting your nose off to spite your face, where you're going to hold it, like with Randy Savage. No one knows why, except for the fact that Randy Savage was incredibly hard to control. Vince McMahon never allowed him back to WWF or WWE, even when they bought out WCW. I don't believe he's even in the Hall of Fame yet. I know there's been talk of it, but I don't think he has actually been entered into the Hall of Fame. I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't had a chance to look up into why she actually left. Dreams, I don't think so, because now Renee Young has left WWE, so I don't see him coming back. There's nothing for him there to go back on a crazy traveling schedule when his wife's not even there anymore. If anything, I see Renee going to AEW with him. Right. And that's the thing. Like, there's so many people that he wastes the talent of. Like, when they're with Triple H and NXT, they're on the top. And then they go to WWE, Raw, or SmackDown, and they sit in the back and twiddle their thumbs on the benches. And I don't understand why. It's like, if Triple H is doing the work for you and building these guys up, take it and run. But he doesn't, because I almost feel like if he's not the one that creates them, he doesn't want them to succeed. That's my opinion of it. I think Vince McMahon is a great businessman, and I say this all the time. He's a great businessman. Someone who should be in charge of creative, absolutely not. Yeah, Hulk Hogan. Yes. She already left. Yes, Dreams. Renee Young has already left. She made the announcement and everything. Bubble, we were actually just talking about that. We were debating it. we think some people think there's a possibility that he's with Retribution. Um, I don't know, Anthony, where his whole family legacy is so deep in WWE. I mean, think about how many of his family members are still with WWE. If they had issues with him and didn't work things out with them, they could possibly lose The Rock. They could lose the Usos. You know what I mean? So his family ties are so deep in there that I think it's almost like a flare. They're so entwined in the history of WWE that they almost don't have a choice but to come to some type of an agreement and bend a little bit. Dreams, he owns the company because his father owned the company. His father sold him the company when he was ready to retire. Lisa, I think Donald Trump's got a whole lot of his own problems right now. But sometimes I wonder the same thing. I know I had heard that Vince was getting pressure from the stockholders. And I think that's why they've been trying to make changes during this whole COVID no audience thing, because a lot of the stockholders were concerned that their ratings were going down during this whole thing with no audience. And the stockholders were saying that they were going to, not only are they losing the money of the attendance, but they're going to lose the money of the networks. And without the money for the networks, he can't commit to the money in Saudi Arabia for the 4 shows a year over there. And that's like $10 million for that deal with Saudi Arabia. I would probably have him attack Moxley. Anyone that knows wrestling knows the history of the Shield, and I think it would make it much more interesting if he went after Moxley. It almost made it out like he followed Moxley there. True. Not only that, Anthony, but I think a feud with Moxley would make more sense. As much as I like Chris Jericho, I think he is old and out of shape. If he had stayed in shape, I think it would have been different, but I don't think he can go with some of the younger guys. Do you think they're going to review any members tonight for Retribution? I think they'll wait till SmackDown. Because I think they already have some reveals. They have Keith Lee's debut. We got to see where Aleister Black stands what his side is going to be in the tag team match. Yeah, Bubble, I agree. I think they need to move on with the storyline, and just stop with the whole shutting everything down. And I truly think that Retribution, I want to say Retribution has something to do with the Stalker. If you remember the Stalker, I know he hasn't really made a debut appearance recently in a month or so. Apollo Crews just beat Bobby Lashley in the arm wrestling competition. For me, I think a superstar like Shayna Baszler can actually benefit instead of being a tag team with Nia. Maybe put her in a Raw Underground that could use her correctly. Yes, I do. I think I thought it was a good idea the first time they had her go on to the Raw Underground. I think they should have gone with that, especially where last week they had her come out with Melina, whatever her name is, and the other one there. I thought the three of them could do a lot of damage in Raw Underground. I don't know if the other two are going to stay in Raw Underground. Yes, thank you, Anthony. I've been waiting for them to debut. I thought for sure they would bring them to where Shayna was and start rekindling the Four Horsewomen. I know there was talk of Ronda Rousey at WWE headquarters not too long ago, and I thought, oh, maybe that's it. Maybe they'll rekindle the female Four Horsewomen. But I haven't really heard anything. But I think her and Nia Jax could make a very powerful tag team. But at the same time, I don't want it to be like an aspect where no one else can beat them. So I don't want them to be one dominant tag team because they don't really have enough women to make a good tag team division for competition. Right. Like, I think that would be a good way. And where the four of them already have MMA background, and in a way, I'm wondering if one of the reasons that what the hell's her name? The girl with Mandy Rose, Sonya. I almost wonder if Sonya Deville lost that match with Mandy Rose to become part of Raw Underground. She has a little bit of MMA background as well, so I think she could do well in MMA background in Raw Underground. But I still think that Raw Underground needs its own brand. It shouldn't be. They make it out like it's an afterthought of Raw, and I don't agree with that. I think it needs its own brand, its own time, and I think it would be great if you had all Raw Underground even if it was an hour show at first and then got put into a 2-hour segment at some point. But I like don't like the way they made it almost like an afterthought of Raw. I mean, I know they're doing it to raise the ratings of Raw, but all that's going to do, especially when they started at 10 p.m. every single night, all that's going to do is make people watch the last hour. They're not going to watch the first two. Exactly. Like, I think they could really excel with this. They have enough people, Bobby Lashley. They have enough people with MMA background that they could really do a whole new thing. And instead of worrying about the XFL, which finally has been sold, I think they should do something like that because they have so many MMA fighters that are interested in coming into a wrestling type of environment that it would do them well. So they have the Mysterios out back. Charlie's talking to them about their tag team match. Yeah, I mean, I think that would be better than having him, in their words, dominate the wrestling roster. I think that would better suit him. I haven't heard anything, Bubble. And I'm not really sure where he stands. I'm not sure where Paul Heyman stands. They released Paul Heyman from his creative role. I don't know how that's going to affect his management role. So I don't know if that affects Brock Lesnar. So they are going to have a triple threat match with Roman Reigns, Braun Strowman, and The Fiend at Payback. They're going to have the contract signing on SmackDown. I think if he has Paul Heyman helping him, yes. That's the one good thing I find about Paul Heyman working with Brock Lesnar. They have a very close relationship, so I think Paul has an easier time communicating with Brock than other people do. I know that a few of the contracts he has signed, he has made it contingent on the fact that Paul Heyman is with him. So I think, especially if he doesn't have to handle anyone with kit gloves, I think if he could actually fight people or at least be a little more in contact than he would be in wrestling, I think that may be his only dislike, that and the travel. I think those are his only two dislikes about being in the wrestling world. I think that's why he keeps going back to MMA. So I think the Raw Underground would be a good neutral spot for him. So yeah, Bubble, I don't know if Brock Lesnar is coming back. I'm sure he will at some point. But like I said, I don't know if they're being very careful in contracts that they're signing right now because of the whole COVID thing. They're obviously losing money from attendance in the arenas. So that's why they've been cutting people they really haven't been using. They're trying to free up some money for some bigger contracts for their bigger people. The only problem is the people they're cutting are people that were decent when they were in NXT, and then they came to Raw or SmackDown and they were allowed to fizzle out. Right. And I have heard the same thing about Brock Lesnar. He's not very easy to work with. I know a lot of them refer to him as a real life country boy. He likes to be on his own, and I think that's why he works so well with Paul Heyman. Like I said, they've known each other for years, and I think Paul Heyman knows when to give Brock his space. And another thing Paul Heyman is good for is to do the talking for Brock, so Brock doesn't have to deal with that. Universal Championship has lost its value because, like, the champion defends against one guy and loses doesn't make sense. Yeah, I don't like when they do that, when they shuffle around champions, because if Roman Reigns wins the title on Sunday, then that just proves that both Braun and Bray were basically holders. They were holding the title for Roman. And as much as I love Roman Reigns, I would love to see him champion again, but at the same time, I think other people also need an opportunity. That was the biggest problem I had with John Cena. Every time John Cena came back, he would win the title. So in the ring, we have Natalya and Lana in the ring talking about Mickie James. Doris, in your honest opinion, would have benefited Roman and when Brock left to UFC to have Paul Heyman as the manager and mouthpiece when the Shield split up? Mickie James comes running down the ring and pushes Natalya down and gives Lana the chick kick and knocks her down. I don't think so. I don't think Roman Reigns needs a mouthpiece. I think Roman does very well on the mic. I think ones that don't do well on the mics or can't really, like, that's the best thing about Paul Heyman is he can tell a story when he's on the mic. He can keep your attention. All right, well, now we're going into Raw Underground, and Bobby Lashley's going in saying he don't care who he fights, he just wants to fight. So we'll have to see who Shane McMahon has for him to fight. But yeah, so I think that's why Paul Heyman is as famous as he is. I think that's why he's lasted as long as he is, because he has that talent. He can keep people's attention and he can tell a story without boring people. So I really don't think Roman Reigns would benefit from a mouthpiece. I don't think Roman Reigns needs someone in his corner. Because there's wrestling bloggers recently saying that Roman would have benefited specifically with having Paul as a mouthpiece when the Shield was split up because his mic work wasn't that good. Right. And at the time, if you remember, he was kind of like in a limbo that he had the universe booing him, especially when he won the Royal Rumble. So yeah, I think he's a lot better now than he was. But yeah, I tend to not agree. Like I said, I don't, in my opinion, he didn't need a mouthpiece. He didn't really talk on the mic to begin with that much. And I think putting him on the mic with John Cena kind of worked out the way it was supposed to be. John Cena kind of made him look like a fool, so I think that forced him to work on his mic techniques. Right. And that's the thing, like a lot of I know there's some people who don't get that some of them have creative input into their storylines, but not all of them. No, I think excuse me again. I think and I think that's why he tends to bring back older talent to do, like when he brought in Ric Flair to walk down to the ring with Randy Orton. Yes, there was a purpose to it. He was working the storyline so that Randy Orton could turn on Ric Flair. The way I would write the end of that storyline is I would possibly have Randy win the title from Drew and end up having Charlotte Flair return, bringing in someone to take out Randy in retribution for what he did to Rick. Now, see, and this is what so Raw Underground is on, and this is what I have an issue with. They have Bobby Lashley in the ring with some puny guy who has no chance against Bobby Lashley. Oh, and Dolph Ziggler's getting in the ring with Bobby Lashley. But yeah, I think a lot of the talent that, especially the upcoming talent, I think they could use a lot better, especially like I said earlier, where you have Triple H building them up, building their brand, getting people behind them. That's like the perfect case scenario. You have a star that is already a small star. Granted, he wasn't on the main roster, but that's why you move him up. He already has a following. And I think that's what irritates me the most about Vince McMahon is a lot of those guys, they just kind of let fall to the wayside. So you have Bobby Lashley in the Raw Underground ring, basically just kicking each other's ass or kicking everyone's ass. This would be the perfect spot for Brock Lesnar to debut and come in, where I think that would be a very good match, Lashley versus Lesnar. And it's something that a lot of people have always wanted to see that I'm not sure if we will ever see. All right, so now we have Randy Orton coming out to the ring, and this is his match, if you remember, with Keith Lee, who is making his Debut. Tony Squirrel. And he's looking behind his back, almost like he's expecting Drew McIntyre to attack him. I think Drew McIntyre will wait and end up coming out towards the end of the match and costing Randy the match. That's what I believe too, also, Bubble. And I said a couple of weeks ago, one of them that I heard talking during the attack sounded very similar to Eric Young. I know Eric Young signed with TNA. I don't really watch TNA, so I don't know if he's still there or even if it's true. But one of them did sound like Eric Young. So they are doing the replay again of Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton. And now they're back in the ring with Randy waiting for Keith Lee. Seth, what's up? Girl. We got all kinds of new people in here today, guys. We got Bubble. We got Anthony. Tiffany was in here. I think she's still here. And we are deep in conversation about Raw and about other stuff. Wolfie! Thank you, Wolfie. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yes, for those of you that don't know, I just got a new job. I am leaving my old job, and hopefully that means more time to work my channel. Thank you, Lisa. It's the whole 80s things. I have my bracelets on from the 80s thing. So what do you think you guys? What do you think is going to happen? Keith Lee? Randy Orton? Like I said, I think at some point Drew McIntyre is going to come out, and I think he is going to end up distracting Randy, not really getting involved, but just distracting him and allowing Keith Lee to get the win. Thank you, Lisa. Love you too. The Ultimate Warrior is going to win. All right, Jet Wash. I'd like to see that one. So we have them tying up. Keith Lee pushing Randy into the corner. Randy getting Keith into a headlock. I mean, and that's the thing with Keith Lee. He's so powerful. He's just picking Randy Orton up. And he throws Randy into the ropes and does the whole jump up thing, getting ready for hunting season. Already, Jet Wash? I got a job today too, Doris. Did Jimmy tell you? Of course he didn't. He has no memory. He has the memory of a gnat. You're right, Lisa. He did not tell me. Congratulations. I'm happy for you. Thank you for letting me know, because my husband certainly didn't. But at least you knew he wasn't gonna. All right, beer season. Although I shouldn't say that. It's beer season here. I don't know if it's beer season where you are. And do you hunt with the bow? I think bow season starts the second week in October for us. And Keith Lee just gave Randy Orton a big overhead belly to belly. Randy rolled out of the ring. All right, Jet Wash. So, yeah, it's about the same here, but I think we're in the second week of October. And Randy sends Lee into the ring post on the outside, shoulder first. If you remember Saturday night, he had a lot of damage done to his shoulder. Randy's also going after his legs. He's doing his stomp thing where he's stomping on all the limbs of his opponent. Yeah, Lisa, he was working on his chopper, which is more important than everybody else in the world, apparently. Only joking, honey. Yes, he's making progress on it, so that's good. And then he had to go to the parts store for my car, so I shouldn't really complain too much. Keep your phone ready to get help when you fart. What are you trying to say? He's going to shit his pants, Dreams? Oh, big squash from Keith Lee to Randy Orton in the corner. And now he's going off of the ring, and he gives him a big splash. And Keith Lee is in control of Randy Orton. Not much offense from Randy. He did have a big match last night with Drew, though. Big shoulder to Randy Orton, and he pretty much went flying out of the ring. Keith Lee's going after him. I don't know if that's too smart. We all know Randy Orton. And sure enough, he's going to be stupid enough to go in between the ropes. And there you go. Big kick, boot to the chest by Randy. On to Keith. He's going to do the DDT off the middle rope. And he succeeds. Big DDT on Keith Lee on the ropes. And where's he going to go from here? Is he going to go for a punt, Dreams? No, he's going to do his RKO stance. But if you remember, he did that last night. Welcome back, Go Fish. He did that last night and changed his mind and went up. And there's Drew McIntyre. And he actually did get involved in the match. I didn't think he would physically get involved. But I did call that he would come out. But this reminds me of when my grandfather's age, wrestling was only on the radio. Very nice, Jet Wash. Very nice. And Randy runs away from Drew McIntyre. Oh, I wonder if Keith Lee is going to have an issue. Because technically, Drew just cost Keith Lee the match. Because Keith Lee got disqualified because Drew attacked Randy Orton. Oh, am I behind, Dreams? Or did you fast forward? Yeah, but Jimmy C used to be Hillbilly Jim until he had my baby. That is true, Jet Wash. He did used to be Hillbilly Jim. That and the Big Show. Jet Wash, there are some folks watching with her. Rumor says Roman Reigns is the leader of the Retribution because at SummerSlam is. Yeah, Bubble. I don't know how much I believe that. It could be. I don't know if I agree with that is what it stood for. It could be. I'm not saying it's not. I think I was saying earlier that I thought that if it was Roman Reigns that was the leader, I think when they first started coming out, they would have attacked more of the people that were involved with Roman Reigns before he left. Braun Strowman, because Braun Strowman replaced him at WrestleMania for the title and won that title. I don't think he would have been on his own. But like I said, I could be wrong. That's what I think, Wolfie. I think CM Punk is the stalker, and I think Retribution is tied to the stalker. Especially where if you notice, there's kind of a lot of females in Retribution. There's a lot of people with long hair. Apparently, one of the NXT people from a couple of weeks ago that was on NXT was her hood came off during one of the attacks, and she was found to be one of the Retribution people. She was debuting that night on NXT, so I don't really know if a lot of people caught it. I did not. I actually heard it from someone. So, but yeah, I think it's connected to the stalker. I've thought for a while that the stalker was CM Punk. And I know a lot of other people believe the stalker was CM Punk, especially with like CM Punk. The stalker kind of died down for like the last month, and then all of a sudden these people start attacking. I know Vince has always dealt with things that are going on this in the world, and right now we do have a lot of riots going on in the world. But why would he call them Retribution? I mean, and it could also, someone said earlier that they had heard that Moxley was coming back from AEW. I don't see that because Renee Young is leaving WWE, and I don't think he would return just as she was leaving. I think it's more likely that she was leaving to go to AEW with him so they could travel together. But where they were crossing off the WWE markers in the back, it would make sense that they were a competitor. I am good, Fish. How are you? Thank you for asking and welcome. Thank you for coming back. How are you today? Well, and that's what I was saying, Dreams, that with people getting so angry about things, I said that I would have found it weird that he would have done the whole mob scene thing just off of the riots, because it is still so in the media and because like we've seen Vince cancel storylines in the midst of them because something really horrendous that similar happens in the world. So he cancels it. Yes, Renzo, Kyle, we are. Hello, welcome. Are you watching Raw? Right, Dreams? So if you watch SummerSlam, Braun Strowman tore apart the ring. Last night he cut the mat off, and it ended up backfiring on him. Bubble, I saw that last night and I thought, are those new teeth? Those look different. He looks different. But I did notice that, and I thought maybe it's just because I haven't seen him for a while. Maybe that's why he looks different. Yes, Roman Reigns returned at SummerSlam. My all-time favorite wrestler is The Undertaker. Roman Reigns is a close second. You don't like Keith Lee's new theme? He's debuting tonight on Raw. He just had a match with Randy Orton. It ended in disqualification because Drew McIntyre got involved. And they announced earlier, Renzo, this Sunday at Payback, there's going to be a triple threat match for the Universal title. Braun Strowman, The Fiend, and Roman Reigns. Charlie's talking to Drew McIntyre, and he said he doesn't need Keith Lee fighting his battles. Yes, Dreams. Up. And Randy just attacked him again from behind. Is he going to punt him again? And he did. So that's a third punt tonight for Drew McIntyre. And Keith Lee lost his title on his second defense. Yeah, Bubble, I was surprised that he lost. I surely expected him to have a longer title reign than that. I did not agree with that storyline of him losing it. To have all that build up just for him to lose his first match against Chris Cross, I thought was absolutely ridiculous. They had a lot of build up to it. They should have had at least a little bit of a feud instead of having him lose the title and then coming to Raw. That didn't make sense to me. That's all right, Goldfish. We have the same problems a lot here. We live in a valley, so we tend to lose our internet quite frequently. It's been pretty good lately, but yeah, Renzo, like Adam Cole, I expected Adam Cole to make his debut forever ago. I expected him to make his debut when he lost the title to Keith Lee. And I'm surprised he still hasn't made his debut. Yeah, they should, especially now where they have no titles. They don't have the tag team titles. They don't have the Northeastern title, and they don't have the NXT title. Excuse me again. But yeah, I think they're kind of in the background. Like, when was the last time that we saw Adam Cole other than this little dispute with that announcer guy? Thank you, Dreams. What did I call it, Renzer? Did I not call it the American title? North American title? Did I call it the Northeastern title? If I did, that's only because I live in the Northeast, so I'm used to saying Northeast. Yes, Renzo, I'm very excited Roman Reigns is back. He's my favorite current wrestler. Undertaker is my favorite all-time wrestler. Adam Cole looks very different now. Yes, he does, Dreams. He does. I hope so, Renzo. I think they would do good on the main roster. I think they would make a good counteract to Seth Rollins and his band of merry men. So, like I could see tonight, we talked earlier about Aleister Black joining Seth Rollins, turning heel and joining Seth Rollins. I think he is going to have some impact on the tag team match tonight between the Mysterios and Seth and Buddy. I think that the Mysterios are going to assume he's coming out to aid them when in fact he's going to end up turning on them. And I think he's going to join Seth Rollins. Yes, the things Lisa would do to Roman Reigns. My top 10 wrestling favorite wrestlers: Roman Reigns, Edge, Jeff Hardy, Young Bucks, Adam Page, Kevin Omega, Okada, Kazuchika, Hiroshi, Shinsuke Nada, Pete Dunne. Well, I definitely like a few of those, Renzo. I like Pete Dunne. I think he's a badass. Roman Reigns, you already know. Edge, I've liked. Yes, Bubble, I think it is. I think there are times that NXT is better than the main rosters. Renzo, I was watching AEW, but I haven't really had time, and that's the one that I'll put off to watch WWE. I don't do too many videos on AEW yet. I'm kind of playing with the idea of making videos for them, but I'm not sure yet if I'm going to. Joseph was here. I believe he had to leave to charge his phone, Dreams. Yes, Lisa's one of my people that watched old wrestling. Pete Dunne, the bruiserweight, he will snap the fingers of his opponents. It is hard to get into. Brian Cage was great. Yeah, Dreams. It took me a while to start getting kind of interested in it. And even then, like I said, that's the one that I'll put off watching. I could take or leave it. And that's why I haven't heard much interest in it from my people. So that's why I really haven't put much effort into making videos for it. As you know, sometimes I find it hard enough to do WWE videos. So it's so funny, Lisa. Those are a lot of the same favorite wrestlers that I had growing up. Hello, pretty bashful. How are you, beautiful? Thank you for popping up. Thanks, Jet Wash. That's what I've been thinking, at least for a while, and see how it goes. And practice and stuff, too. What are you trying to say, Jet Wash? I need practice? Mofo? Huh? The FTR, no. As Revival as they were the top guys, greatest tag team, Scott Johnson. Yeah, now they're with AEW. So Doris, if Roman turns heel, will he still be your favorite wrestler? Yeah, usually, unless they do some really heinous stuff. Usually I don't do the whole heel face thing. Usually if I like someone, I like them. Like I've absolutely hated faces before. Sit in the mirror, pretend one ear is wrestling, the other is commentated. When Shawn Michaels was bald, I kind of died a little. Dreams, did you hear me screaming last week about how they were showing his bald spot? So Asuka is kind of beating Sasha, and she just threw her outside of the ring. If you remember, they're having a lumberjack match. It seems like there's some people from... So we have the Riot Squad out there. We have Belair out there. We have Shayna Baszler out there. And Shayna Baszler just walked right over to Sasha. Bayley's trying to pretend like she's going to protect her, but I don't think she really will. I heard you scream without the laptop. Yes. Right, Lisa, me too. Very nice, Ian. Welcome back, by the way. Right, Bubble? Your imagination is your limit, or I suppose Vince McMahon's imagination is his limit. I think that some of the crap they're doing is just so far reached. See, Lisa, there he goes again talking about the damn chopper. Jet Wash. What happened to the knee, Jet Wash? That would be cool, Wolfie. If Roman teamed with Alistair. And that's what I originally thought when Roman returned that he would almost create a new Shield to go against Seth and his merry men. Because Jet Wash I saw on the knee, and I was trying to find a previous comment that you might have been following up on, and I couldn't find one. So I'm not really sure what the knee means. Jimmy C and friends, we were talking about wrestling. Get with the program. This isn't A&E in American Choppers. Ha! So Jet Wash, you're not going to tell him that he needs to practice on building his chopper? Really? Tell me to practice on something I've been watching my whole entire life, but you're not going to tell him to practice on building his damn chopper? Jeez. Favorite tag team? My favorite tag team would be the Brothers of Destruction, Kane and Undertaker. And then my second one would have been Bradshaw and Farouk. APO, PO, OPA. What the hell were they? The Legion of Doom. Yes, the Legion of Doom are up there too. The Bushwhackers. Lisa got licked by a bushwhacker. Yes, Jet Wash. He calls that a chopper. No, not AOP Bubble. We're see now because I kept thinking AOP, but I don't think they were AOP. It was Bradshaw and Farouk back in the Attitude Era. Were they AOP too? More like kill you. Yeah, I don't like the new AOP, no. The Rock and Roll Express is still wrestling Bashful, believe it or not. I have to get back to doing the NWA tapings. I was doing NWA recordings, videos, and it was kind of cool because it was all the people you remember from when you were a kid. APA, thank you, Bubble. That's what it was, APA. Fabulous Freebirds and the Von Erichs. So we are back on Raw, and Sasha Banks has no offense for Sasha. Asuka is going after Bayley now, and Bayley is throwing everyone in her path into Asuka, and Asuka just took out 4 different people. It gave Sasha a chance to attack Asuka from behind. And now she does this frog splash. 1, 2, kick out by Asuka. Midnight Express. I remember the Midnight Express. Oh, Sasha told Bayley to get a chair, and Shayna Baszler came over and grabbed Bayley from behind, and now Sasha's back in the Oscar lock. And again, she's screaming for Bayley. And where is Bayley? Bayley is nowhere to be found, and Sasha is forced to tap out once again. Dreams, how the hell did you end up ahead of me? You'll see an ambulance next. Dreams, stop it. Ah, there's the ambulance. Who's in the ambulance? Is it Drew McIntyre, Dreams? I fast forwarded by 10 seconds and missed who they put in the ambulance. It was Drew McIntyre. Keith Lee is very upset. And here is Dominic and Ray. Hopefully, Dominic is able to hit the frog splash tonight. He only hit it once. See, this is the problem, Dreams. I keep freezing up. That's my problem. And then it didn't help with Bubba Boy laying on my freaking keyboard, changing shit on me. Yeah, I'm talking about you. He's on my bureau right now looking at me like, who, me? Not me. Did you hear about Triple H leaving WWE? Wolfie, Triple H would be the stupidest man in the world if he left WWE. That's all I got to say about that. He would be the stupidest man. Lisa, good news. Subway will not be closing. Yes, you get into my car. All right, Captain. My internet not working well, but I am here. Right, Goldfish? My chat's working fine, but my streaming of my Raw is freezing up every now and then. So I think that's how Dreams is ahead of me by a couple of seconds. And it won't let me move forward. Mascot! Heads up, Suicide Squad 2, WWE, John Cena, be on it. Very nice. You said who me? So I'm confused about this. Oh, Captain, I was talking about Thomas. At the start of the stream, he was laying on my keyboard, causing all kinds of ruckus. He rewound me almost the full show, so I had to get caught up. and he's standing on my bureau right here. And when I was saying that, he was looking at me like, what? Who, me? Wasn't me. And we still have commercials about family time dinners and Papa Gino's. Me and Jimmy had for dinner a blast from the past. We had grilled cheese with tomato. And thanks for the heads up, mascot, on John Cena being on Suicide Squad 2. Y'all heard her here first on Doris's Wrestling Fanatics Corner. Now we got a Papa John commercials, pizza commercial. When I saw bald Strowman on SmackDown, I laughed so hard. Yeah, if they were going to go there, they should have just shaved his beard. And it's like a whole Big Show thing again. And I didn't like when they did it with Big Show, and I don't like it now. If Triple H left WWE and partnered up with the AEW, that would be scary for Vince. That would mean that Triple H would probably end up getting a divorce. I don't see the man walking away from a multi-million-dollar company. That's my only thing. You got to remember, he's married into the family. He stands to inherit a company. John Cena took Skeeta's role in the new Fast and Furious. Very nice, very nice. Doris, do you think Rhea Ripley is going to debut at SmackDown on Friday? I hope so, but I'm not so sure. I think she needs to move on. I actually like Stephanie McMahon. I think she does well. She makes a very good heel. So we have Bobby Lashley and Ibar on Raw Underground, and Lashley just made Ibar tap out to the arm lock. Good night, squirrel. Have a good night. Yeah, she is. I think very similar to Sonya Deville. I think she shows a different side. Like, she's kind of made herself different. And I know she has said in the past the reason she made herself, she cut her hair and things like that, was because a lot of people compared her to Charlotte Flair when she first came into NXT, and she hated it. Guys, for me, this is why I hate every time maybe a big female wrestler debuts on main roster. It's never on SmackDown. It's always on Raw. True. And I think they need more female people on Raw. I saw something today that said that Stephanie McMahon is aiming for it to be like 50-50 and have just as many female roster as they have male, which I think would be good. I think they definitely need more of a female competition type of thing. especially to build a tag team division. I think Sasha shouldn't have won the title in the first place. Neither do I, Bubble. When I saw Stephanie with Connor Crusher in that video, I love Stephanie a lot more. Same thing here at Dreams. I've watched quite a few videos with Stephanie with children, and she has a very big heart. If you ever get a chance to watch Undercover Boss, she actually goes on that. And goes to like the headquarters and to the performance center, and no one has any idea who she is. Oh, okay. So you did see it. So now we have the tag match between the Mysterios and Seth Rollins and Buddy Murphy. So we'll have to see if my prediction comes true and Aleister Black comes out. Like I said, I'm really not sure who he will side with. I have a feeling he's going to side with Seth. Do you think the WWE is going to change Dominic's ring name at some point and just call him Dominic Mysterio? I think they will probably call him Dominic Mysterio. With a lot of the second generation wrestlers, especially with the third generation wrestlers, they let them keep their names that associate them to their parent. Like, for instance, Charlotte Flair, Natalia. Hey, Dirty Operations, what's up? Bless me again. But yeah, and I think a lot of that goes to the family heritage. I think that's why they do it. Right? And both Ray and Dominic are doing some high-flying stuff. They seem to be in control of Seth and Buddy. Honestly, I think WWE should change Dominic's rename overall, because if they continue calling him Dominic Mysterio, that's going to be putting a ton of pressure on him to be like his father. I think the one good thing about Dominic's position is he has two great families that he got the opportunity to grow up around. As you know, Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero were best friends throughout their career. And last night on SummerSlam, he did do a frog splash to perfection, which was Eddie Guerrero's finishing move. So I think he has the opportunity to bring the two styles together. Eddie Guerrero was not only high flying, but he was also a fighter. He didn't mind getting hands on. Where you have Rey Mysterio, who's more high flying than he is hands on. Thank you, Bashful. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. We are at a commercial now, Dreams. But I think that's the one good thing about Dominic. Like I said, I think he has an opportunity where he saw them both wrestle for so long. And I'm sure he learned from Eddie as much as he learned from Ray. Yes, he was young when Eddie died, but he wasn't that young. I think he would have been able to understand a lot of what Eddie did and how Eddie did it. And he also has the rest of the Guerrero family, where I'm sure they're still very close. I mean, it's almost like Natalya, who has Jim Neidhart's style, but she also has all of the Hart style because she grew up with the Hart. She's part of the Hart family. She trained in the dungeon. So she's got a lot of both mixed. I see what you're saying. At the same aspect, though, it may be in his I think it can help him at the same time, like you say. I think it could hold him back because of the pressure and the expectations. But I think it could also, in a off-screen part of it, it could open a lot of doors for him, having the names that he has associated to him. So now we have Ray in the ring, and Seth Rollins is in control of Ray. Dominic is on the ring apron. All right, Donna. Nice. Captain got a new box. For a little bit, Anthony, I actually played with the idea of Dominic turning on Ray. I thought maybe at WrestleMania, at SummerSlam, he would turn on him and end up joining Seth. So I think in a way that he would I don't know if I think it would be a cool idea. But at the same time, they've been there, done that. They did it with the Hart Dynasty. They did it with Legacy. If you remember with Legacy, they were all, I believe, third generation. With Hart Dynasty, they were all second generation. So I think they've done it. I am good. Wrestling forever. How are you? So I don't know if they would do it again. I think it would be a cool idea. What I would name it, I'm not really sure. The one good thing about those four people is they all have such different styles. Right. I've thought, and I still think I would use Charlotte Flair, and Blanchard could be one of those. I think they should start a new Four Horsemen with Charlotte, and maybe have Rick manage them. Tully Blanchard was in the Four Horsemen at one point in time, so I think Tessa Blanchard would be a good addition to that. I think if they could get some of the original Four Horsemen's children involved, that would be good. I thought it would have been Charlotte, Natalya, and Tamina. Yeah, wrestling. So yeah, I've often thought that I would like to see a second generation Four Horsemen. Maybe with or even with Men and Charlotte being the valet or being the controller, the leader, something like that. I think it should involve Charlotte. I know that unfortunately we will probably never see Chris Benoit's son involved in WWE, and our lights are going out again. So does this have to do with Retribution? Seth Rollins just pushed Dominic Mysterio off the top ropes. The lights going out distracted him. And Retribution is in the ring. They are surrounding Dominic. And Ray went in to try to help Dominic, and now both Mysterios are being attacked by Retribution. Seth Rollins is laughing. Doris, do you remember when WWE's Four Horsemen versus UFC's Four Horsemen was constantly? Yes, wrestling, I do. There's a problem. That's the problem. I don't think any of the Four Horsemen besides Tully Blanchard and Ric Flair have kids wrestling. That's what I'm saying. Use Roman Reigns and Charlotte and Tessa. Actually, Dean, Chris Benoit's son wrestles, but unfortunately, we won't see him. All right, two of the Retribution just pretty much torpedoed Rey Mysterio into one of the ringside poles. They are still beating Dominic. They dragged Ray over to Dominic to make him watch. Yeah, I see what you're saying, Anthony. I think it would be cool to have something like that. So now Retribution is on the ringside apron, just staring down at the Mysterios, and that is the end of Raw. Oh, that would be pretty good. Chris Benoit's son with Brian Pillman Jr. That would be a good tag team. Okay, Anthony. So yes, the original Four Horsemen, only two of them have children that are wrestling. So yeah, I mean, you could do a mix where the other two also have family legacy like the Horsemen do. I think Roman Reigns has a very long legacy of wrestling. I think the Hearts have a very long legacy of wrestling. The Legion Brock got hurt on Monday night. Hope he is okay. But yeah, Anthony, I've often played with the idea of a new updated Four Horsemen. At one point we actually on one of my Wednesday night shows we picked a current wrestler that would make a good replacement for each one of the Four Horsemen. And I have to say there were a lot of good ideas. I don't know who the best fit would be, but I think the four you came up with is a pretty good thought. Like having the mix of the genders and having them control both female and male. I think AEW is setting up a Full Husband stable, Cody, FTR, and Adam Page. That would be interesting. I've often thought Cody, because he's so connected to Dusty, that he should have some type of maybe tag team or something like that. Anthony, and it would have been three-way feud with Inner Circle and Dark Order. If WWE did the Four Horsemen stable again with the four people I just told her, you keep the Four Horsemen name or change it to something else? Depending on who was in it. I think to be able to keep it as the Four Horsemen, one of the Flairs would have to be involved in it. Just because Ric Flair was one of the co-founders of the Four Horsemen. So I think if I kept it the Four Horsemen, I think I would have Ric Flair as their manager. Either that or JJ Dillon, like he was with the original Four Horsemen. That's what I'm talking about. The group I just told you: Charlotte, Tessa, Roman, and Dominic. So yeah, especially if you have Charlotte and Tessa, I would keep the Four Horsemen name because they're part of the originals. Wrestling, it depends on who owns the name Four Horsemen. They would only have to exactly like the Staple the Man. That was why they did not have to pay Ric Flair any money. He did not own that insignia. That was why they were able to let Becky Lynch call her or label herself the Man and not have any legal problems. I know he did try to sue, but I don't think he was able to win, because I don't believe he had it. Would you go see your father? I don't believe he had it trademarked, so I think it would depend on who owned the Four Horsemen name. If it was something that WCW owns, now WWE owns it, so they could use it. They already have, if you think about it, in NXT, they were the Four Horsewomen, though. So maybe they would have, if the original Four Horsemen did own it, they would have to play a trick on the name. Oh, okay. I know he was trying to trademark it, but I don't think he was ever able to, because I know that was a dispute that he had. I watched a interview with him where he was saying he had an issue with WWE using it. And he was thinking about legal action, and I think he did take legal action, but I don't think it went anywhere. I could be wrong. If they can't use the name for Four Horsemen in the group, what would you change the name to if you had the choice as a fan? That's a good question. Legacy has already been used, so you can't use that. Let's see. I don't know, maybe something like Domination, maybe? I kind of thought of that wrestling, but I wasn't sure if that would be a good choice. Young Horses Are Colts. That would be a good name. I'm not sure if you'd like it. Apocalypse, and they can still use the Four Horsemen four-finger sign. True. And if you used Apocalypse, they may also be able to use a similar ring entrance as far as like the horse's hooves. They could do the same with the Colts. Yeah, it's hard because like Young Stallions is already taken. Although I don't know who owns that. That is an old tag team, but this would be a good name. And they're not all men, so Stallions wouldn't really work unless they were all men. The 4 Colts. So yeah, I mean, there's a few ones you can do that would kind of pay homage. Or just a symbol like Prince did. True. Or you could just do formerly known as the 4 Horsemen, maybe. How would that work for a multi-branded stable? Because they can't have multiple people from different shows, but they have to have Charlotte and Tessa and Dominic are on SmackDown for that to work. True. So they would have to have another raffle thing, and either Roman would have to go to. I mean, I could see them all going to SmackDown too, because they're trying to make SmackDown a bigger brand. So I think to shake things up, I could see them all going to SmackDown. I mean, because then you would have strong females on both Raw and SmackDown, where you have Sasha, Bayley, Nia, Shayna, all on Raw. A little bit, Dreams. I will be ending soon because I unfortunately still have my current job and I still have to get up at 5 a.m. But I think mostly it's my allergies, though. My allergies are killing me. So, I mean, yeah, they could do another brand shakeup and send those 3. I mean, and that could be how they come together. Maybe you have Shane McMahon running SmackDown again, and he decides he wants all of them. Yeah, it would. So if you have Shane McMahon running SmackDown, he could decide to bring them all over in a package deal, and he could be the one to start the new 4 Horsemen group. Because then you would have a McMahon running it, and that would tie in. Yeah, Lisa, I thought of that too. That name has already been used. It was used in WWE, so that doesn't mean it can't be used again. So that was why I've kind of been trying to lean away from Legacy, is because it was already used by a 3rd generation group. The Round Table. Oh, the Round Table. That would be a good name. The Round Table. That is a good name, wrestling. Yeah, I like that. So there you go, Anthony. The Round Table. I think that would be a very good name. And then they could still use a similar entrance theme as the horses. Because I think that was one of the best things about the entrance of the 4 Horsemen. Oh, Jesus Christ, wrestling. You could have just taken the credit for it and said, thank you. It's a really good name for the group. Jesus. So, Anthony, I came up with a new name, the Round Table. All right, peoples. As much as I hate to do it, I wish I could stay up with you all night. I cannot. I have to get up early, but I hope you all join me again on Wednesday. This was a lot of fun, and we can continue our discussion on the new Four Horsemen and everything else we touched on tonight. And yeah, so Wednesday, same bat time, same bat channel. I'm glad you had fun. I hope you all enjoyed yourself. And hopefully I will see you all back. I'm trying wrestling, trying to stay safe. And I hope you all are too. And I will see you all Wednesday, hopefully. And yeah, peace out. Thanks for the love, the support, and the contribution. Good night, dreams. Have a good night, all. Thank you. Let me go. All right. Peace out, guys. Thank you so much. Love. Have a good night. See you Wednesday.